Hello and welcome back. My name is Ankit Maheshwari, and today we are going to start our chapter 2, text, messages, and layout. And before we write a single line of code, I want you to just think about this. Think about the difference between a raw script and a finished product. A script is just logic, right? What does your script do? The script does the math, it processes the data, but a product that you are building, a product is an experience. A product is an experience. And in this chapter, we are going to focus on layouts. And when I say layout, I don't just mean making things look pretty. I mean something much deeper. I mean respecting your user's attention. Every header you're going to write, every column you organize, every status message you display, all these things, they communicate something to the user. It tells them where to look, it tells them that matters, it tells them that you have respect for them, right? Because one thing is certain, understand this, and I'm telling you from my experience of more than 20 plus years, one thing is certain: you can have the best data in the world, but if your user feels lost, your code doesn't matter, right? The resources you need, the coursebook and the code, are linked below this video. You can download them. Get ready, let's build something useful. Okay. So we are going to start with text, messages, and layouts, right? Let's quickly look at the roadmap for this chapter. Professional layout design that we are going to do in this chapter. Markdown formatting, you guys already know. I know most of you already know Markdown. Markdown is super simple, and Streamlit supports Markdown, status messages, and then we are going to organize the layouts. Again, because when you build an app, you're telling a story. So it's very important. Okay. All right, let's start. We are entering the watch phase. If you don't know about our 3-phase philosophy, watch, code, and build, you can watch the first video. Let's quickly start, because in next few minutes, I want you to stop coding. I want you to just watch and build those mental models, right? So for this, let me take you to my screen. So I have already downloaded, I've already cloned the GitHub repository. Okay, let's quickly look at ls listing. So now I'm going to move to my first. Let me start my Python environment. So I'm going to use source .venv is my folder, bin activate. In chapter 1 we have installed the Python environment. So I'm just going to activate that Python environment. I'm going to use VS Code. My shortcut is code dot. This means open all the files in this project, right? Let me maximize this. Okay, here it says like, let me maximize this. So I'm going to start with chapter 2. This is chapter 2. Let me just close this. So chapter 2 has 3 folders: final, project, and starter folder. So we are going to start from starter folder. You know this. Let me also quickly show you the book also. So we are going to follow this book. This is a book. You have you're going to follow this. We are going to follow this book. It has projects, and then finally it has exercises, solutions, exercises and solutions. I think you guys all know that. So let's not waste more time. So let's quickly get to our coding. So the first thing is, let's import Streamlit as st, and I am going to do what I'm going to do is I'm going to start some st.write. So we'll start with title. In fact, st.title. So the first thing is chapter 2, right? And let's quickly start our terminal so that we can do Streamlit run. Okay, chapter 2 starter. Okay, let me quickly close other tabs. I want to make sure that I have saved this file. Yes. I didn't save this file. That's the reason it was not coming. Chapter 2. Let's quickly go back to slides once more. So we have discussed why layout matters. Coding isn't the hard part. Making people want to use what you have built is the hard part. This is the hard part. Because you are trying to make someone actually want to use what you have built. And one thing a lot of people get confused design with decoration. Design isn't just decoration. Design is a trust. And if your layout is broken, your trust is broken. And this is like if you have worked in my team, you know, this is one thing I keep on telling to my team members: amateur versus professional apps. You know, anyone can build the apps. Like anyone can build those apps. They can build this long vertical stack, same text size. But when professionals come to the picture, or professionals come to the arena, which you are going to be very soon, or maybe you already are professionals, they take a different approach. They use visual hierarchies. They use spatial organization. They use spacing. They group related informations together. And it separates the input from the outputs. They clearly shows these are the inputs, these are the outputs. They give proper messaging. It tells the user's eye exactly where to go. So don't ignore the user. Don't ignore the user. And these are the three principles we need to use. Visual hierarchy. Not all information is equal. So sometimes we'll use title, sometimes we'll use header, subheader, right, whatever. That visual hierarchy is very important. Then the number 2 is spatial organization. You know, this is about logic. Related things belongs together. If you have a filter, it belongs next to the data it filters. If you have a chart, it shouldn't be miles away from the legends. We use space to create relationships. And the third is user guidance. This is one of the most common things that most developers forget. You have to talk to your users. You have to speak to them. Did the upload work? Did the calculation fail? Warn them. Warn them. If is the app loading? Show them. The app is loading. Show them. If you master these three things: visual hierarchy, spatial organization, and user guidance, you are actually building the real software. Okay, so we are going to use st.write when we are going to use plain text. When we are going to use formatted text, we are going to use st.markdown. So these are the two methods provided by Streamlit. st.write, as we know, is our Swiss Army knife. st.markdown is your scalpel. You know, this is for your user. Look at the code block. When you look at the code block, or look at this code block on the right. st.markdown, large header, bold text, italics text, whatever you will put here, whatever you put in the st markdown, it will display proper markdown. Single hash means the biggest header, h1, bold, this bold, italics, and so on. Perfect. Now, before I just jump back to the code, I really want to you to understand this with, because this is one of the most common thing which you are going to use, the with statement. You know, in Streamlit, this is your best friend, and I want you to understand why. If you look at the code on the screen, on the top is like when let's say we have created 2 columns, we are going to create columns, but just look at this. When we create column 1 dot write, column 1 dot button, this is like too much verbose. We are trying to write everything by ourselves. But when we use this context manager with column 1, write this. Now this part of the content will be written only in column 1. I'm going to explain you in detail, but understand this thing. This context with context manager is very, very important, right? Because it's cleaner. And in Streamlit, you are going to use this context manager with at least 70 to 80% of time. Okay, so let's start our code together. This is where we build together. Let's open our editor. So first, let's quickly look at the markdown. Okay. Or first, let me also have some headers. st.header, maybe something like understanding. Display commands. We'll come to the with context manager. I know you are itching to use with, but first let's quickly finish this st header, subheader, since we have already spoken about them. Subheader. We are going to use titles, headers, etc. Right? Now let's quickly come to Markdown. I want to show you how this Markdown works. Or let's first see chapter 2. Let me refresh this. Okay. Had sorry, on the screen. Chapter 2 title. Then we had this header. This is the header, right? This is the header. And then we have subheader. This is a subheader. Okay. Let's quickly use a Markdown. So in Markdown, I'm going to use this method st.markdown. So this is my method. Whatever I'm going to write here in double quotes will be rendered as a Markdown text. So let me write something, maybe bold text. Let's see. Bold text. Okay. I forgot to close this. Classical mistake. Bold text. Okay. Let's do another Markdown. This time what we'll do? This time we'll do italics. Again, I forgot to close it. Same mistake again. Awesome. Italics. Okay. Now maybe some inline code. If I want to show inline code, how do I show inline code? I just use this. 1 second. For some reason, this is not working. Yes. So I'm going to use a single code, and I'm going to write inline code. Right? Inline code. Can you see this gray bar? This is like inline code, right? Perfect. And before starting this, one more thing I want to show you. Let's quickly look at our book. What we have covered? We have covered. Okay, let's cover status message also. We have covered text commands. Let's cover status messages also, guiding your users, because status messages tells user what is happening in your app. Is there an error? Is there success? What is happening? So let's do that also. First, we'll start with, let's say, st.success. Operation completed successfully. Okay. Can you see this green ribbon? Not ribbon, green box. There's a status success status. Let's try st.warning. Okay, this is an extra. Let me also close this. Okay, now we have more space. Now st.warning, we can use st.warning. Maybe this is a warning message. Nothing fancy. This is a warning message. Perfect. Now let's do similarly st.error. Very standard. Stop press. Okay, let's see. Very simple. Perfect. And the last is, last but not the least, st.info, general information, some general information. Here we go. Green, yellow, red, and blue. Very simple. Perfect. And now we have done this. Okay, I also want to show you a toast. I don't know if how many of you use this. Can you, in a lot of modern apps, whenever you do something, there's small, this kind of rectangle messages that comes like floating on your screen. Those are called toast. So they are wonderful in terms of, giving your user some kind of information, what is happening, but you don't want that information to stay on your page for long. For example, if you look at these messages, they are staying on the page, Okay, if somebody has uploaded their picture, we want to give them a message, your picture has been uploaded, but we don't want that this message to remain there. For this, we are going to use toast, but I can see I have a spelling mistake, operation. Let me correct that spelling mistake. So I'm going to use something called st.toast, right? For this, I'm going to use, let's say, an if block, if st dot button upload pic is, or let's say uploaded pic colon, then I want to show them st.toast and very simple message, let's say, yes, picture has been uploaded. What I have done here is I have created a button, and as you know, every button has like two has a boolean value, either true or false. If the button has been clicked, so this means true, and if the button has been clicked, so I'm going to present them as toast, st.toast. Yes, picture has been uploaded. Let's see how it works. I'm going to refresh the page. Uploaded pic, click on this. Yes, picture has been uploaded, right? And you can convert this into your error message or your success message, whatever, and you can just close this also. Are you getting my point? My screen has not been polluted. For me, that is very important. I don't want to pollute my screen. If somebody has uploaded their picture, they will just click on this button or any other operation that has happened. I want to show them that that operation has happened, and you can see that that toast went after a couple of seconds. Beautiful. Or if I click somewhere, it has gone. Perfect. Okay. Now let's talk about sidebars. Sidebars are very, very useful. Actually, everyone knows what is a sidebar. Look at Amazon and everyone has sidebar. Why not your apps? Even you also want sidebars in your app. So let's do this, because in sidebar you can place elements on the side of your page, right? They are very useful for, let's say, inputs, sometimes universal inputs, especially when you're going to build multiple page app. You don't want to, if there are some common things, for example, let's say you're building an LLM app. You want somebody to choose a model, maybe OpenAI model, maybe Claude model, maybe Grok model, maybe Gemini model, whatever. So you want to give them a drop down. But this code is going to be repeated across all the pages if you don't put it in sidebar. And as a smart programmer, we follow the principle dry. Don't repeat yourself. So we can put this code, this select box in our sidebar, right? So let's take a very simple example of sidebar. Sidebar is super simple. Let's first create a sidebar, st.sidebar. And then what we'll do, st.sidebar, and we'll say title. Let's give us title to our title to a sidebar. Sidebars. I'll say our sidebar. Okay. So this is a title of our sidebar. And then we'll say st.sidebar dot let's say write. Simple command. Now this will write into the sidebar. This is inside the sidebar. And I also want you to actually look at this. Look at whenever you move your mouse over any of these methods, you can see body, there's a body, anchor, help, width, etc. Similarly, if you move your over here, you can pass different arguments, right? Any number of arguments. Let's first run this. Now I'm going to refresh. Can you see our sidebar? Our sidebar. This is inside the sidebar. Okay, nothing fancy, but you got the whole point. We'll do more with sidebar, but first I also want to show you columns, and with columns I want to show you where is my okay. Let me check the book that I am following the sequence or not. Status we have discussed, we have done all this. Columns. Okay, let's do columns first. So what are columns? If you look at any website, a website is divided into containers. You take any website on this planet. Website is nothing but different containers. Container 1, container 2, container 3, any damn website. And there could be like maybe one container will have different columns. There will be one container, there will be columns. So this is like how all websites are built. They are built with these containers. Containers could be circular, could be oval, could be rectangular. But if you look at any website, any layout, it's all about those blocks. And these columns, you can see these columns are like blocks. I'll show you. In fact, I'll show you. That will help you a lot. So what we'll do is, first, the thing with Streamlit is, here they want these column thing to be super simple. What they will do is, we'll use this command st.column. It will like split the page into multiple vertical sections. For example, let's say I will use this command st.columns, and let's say I say I want 2 columns. So it will give me 2 columns. Since it will give me 2 columns, I need to store them. So I can say col1, col2. So what is this col1 and col2? So these are 2 columns. Right now that my container has been divided into 2 columns. And since st.column is splitting my page, splitting my container of a page, is think of it a hypothetical container. Is splitting them into 2 columns. So I need to store these 2 columns. These are column 1, column 2. And I'll show you. Let me write something in column 1 dot write. And I'll write like column 1 and then col2 right, column 2, right? And let's refresh. Can you see column 1, column 2? This time my column 1 and column 2 are placed left and right. How was it possible? Because this container was split into two columns. Okay. Let me also show you one thing. I'm just using st.divider, which is going to give you a horizontal rule. The reason I want to put this divider is because some of you might get confused that entire page is divided. No, only these 2 parts, column 1 and column 2, this small part, this is like container, and the height of this container is a flexible container. The number, if you are putting a lot of lines, it will increase vertically. But as soon as your content finishes, the container also finishes. The container, that hypothetical container, is divided into 2 columns. I can also divide into 3 columns also. Let's say if I do it 3, now this will give me 3 columns, col3, and here I can write col3 dot right, column 3. Can you see it? Column 1, column 2, column 3, 3 columns. Perfect. Now we have been talking about this st.container. Let's talk about this st.container, this layout container. Let's call it st.container, right? Now this st.container creates a logical section. It's created a logical section on this page. And inside this logical section, what you can do is you can group all your elements inside this logical section. And for this, we are going to use our this context manager called width. So what I'll do is with st.container, this is a context manager. With this a context manager, I'm sure many of you have used this with opening files and closing files, with open file, dot open, etc. So with st.container, I'm going to say st.header container demo, right? And so this time, this is a container demo. This is a container. I am doing everything inside that container, and I can even put this container inside column. But I'm thinking, before moving forward, I really want you to kind of understand this width. Then I want you to understand this using the with statement, because this with statement is a part of a context management in Python. So let's go back to our screen. Okay, so oh yeah, let's go back to I'll just do it and show it with you. So look at this book. So the with statement is extensively used in Streamlit. We have already discussed this. Probably in 80% of real world Streamlit apps, you're going to use Streamlit. You're going to use with. Whether it's your columns, your sidebars, containers, expanders. I'll show you expanders also. Everywhere you're going to use this with statement. And if you ask me, it's a foundation of everything ahead. It also prevents confusion, because when for example in our code, when we say with st.container, this means everything we are writing will be for that container. So clean. It gives so much logic to our code that now this st.header, maybe we can write like st.write. Everything you see here is a part of the container, right? So this prevents confusion and is required. So now the question here is, what is context in Streamlit? What is context? What do you mean by context? Context, if you ask me, context is nothing but an environment. So you can say my context start here and my context finish here, right? Where does my content goes? It goes inside the whatever my context manager is. So look at this definition. A context manager is a Python's way of automatically directing your content to the right place. And it's called a manager. Why? Because it manages where your content gets placed. That's the reason it's called a manager. And we have given you a very simple analogy with the hotel room analogy. You have to think of Streamlit layout like a hotel with different rooms, sidebar, column. These are like different rooms. So if you are going to a sidebar, so that your context manager is making sure everything you're doing will be doing in the sidebar. If you're going in your main room, which might be a container, which might be a column, you're doing everything in that room. So let me give you an example. Let's say this, for example, look at this example with call. Let's go on top and we say call 1, call 2, right? So instead of writing like this, what we could have done is with call 1, right? With call 1, just like this, with call 1 st.write, or let's say subheader. Let me use subheader. I am inside call 1, right? Hello call 1. Similarly, you can do this. Can you see how clean this is? I'm inside call 2, hello call 2, and why not call 3 with call 3? Right? I'm inside call 1, I'm inside call 2, I'm inside call 3. Simple? Clear? So this is the power of this context manager with. And now we are able to create those logical separations. Okay, let's move ahead. Now let's do one more interesting thing is expander. We have done container. I think we should write container at the bottom. Now let's also do expander. That's with xt.expander. I'm going to use this with a lot now with st.expander. This is kind of more details. For more details, click here. For more details, click here. Can you tell me why is this error? Because it requires a colon. Now I'll say st. Header, more details, st.write, hi, hope you're doing great. Can you see? For more details, click here. This is expander. Right now, the default status is already closed, but if I click here for more details, it has opened. And since I'm using context manager with, I can easily place whatever I want to put in container in my expander below it. And let me also check my spelling error. For more details, click here, more details. I hope you're doing great. Awesome. Finally, let's do tabs. Just kind of imagine like we are able to add all these different layout widgets so easily with like 2 and 3 lines of code. Just imagine doing all this with JavaScript, HTML, CSS. It will take more than few lines of code. It's so simple, so easy, and even remembering them is so easy with st.container, with xt.expander, column one, column call one, call two, call three. st.columns is like splitting my entire container into multiple columns. I'm using them. It's so easy, isn't it? Let's do tabs also. Again, when I use st.tabs, what it will do is it will divide my tabs into various parts. For this, I can use a list. I'll say tab 1, comma tab 2. Maybe I'll say overview and maybe details. I keep on. Okay. And another interesting thing here is, so here 1, 2, 3, 4. So how many tabs I'm getting? I'm getting 4 tabs, right? So let's say tab 1, tab 2, tab 3, tab 4. So I'm getting 4 tabs, right? And again, you can do tab 1 dot write, tab 1. I'm just copy pasting this. Tab 2 section, tab 3 area, tab 4 details. Let's see how it works. Can you say tab 1, tab 2, overview, detail? And look at the, the experience, the smooth experience. This is like how React, now this actually is a React app. So Streamlit is taking care of all the jugglery behind the scenes. I'm just clicking here on tabs and the experience is so smooth. That is the power of Streamlit. Perfect. So we have covered this understanding the with statement. You can always read this book. We have understood what is context in Streamlit, context manager. Streamlit without context manager is you have to manually write like this, call.write, call.metric, and so on. But with Streamlit, you can actually create this logical separations. You can create those logical blocks. With call 1, whatever you want to write, just write here. With call 2, and can you see now I'm not I no longer used to I no longer need to write call 1, call 2. Okay, I forgot to tell you this thing. So this is very important. Here I have to use tab 1, tab 2, tab 3, right? But if I could have used like this with tab 4, right? With tab 4, st.write, I am in a logical section. I'm in a logical section. So what has happened here is I can just use my Streamlit comma method st.write, but my context manager, my environment is, my scope is tab 4. If I am not using this context manager, then I have to use tab 4 because I have got these 4 tabs using st.tabs, and you can see in my list there are 4 tabs. So it has given me these different 4 tabs. I have to use them every single time. But if I am using with context manager, things are so simple. I don't need to remember the names. I can just write st.write. I hope you are able to understand this logic, right? And I've just put this in book also. Streamlit with context manager is an automatic way. Check into column 1 room, check into the column 2 room. Remember our hotel analogy. Now whatever we are writing, we are already in this hotel room called column 1. Now when we are using with call to be in the hotel room column 2, and we are writing everything here, right? So sidebar, we have discussed why use a sidebar. It will keep your everything clean. Then containers, expanders, we have already done. Now you have to do your practice project. So practice project. So we have come to the part 3, that is build. This is where the training wheels come off. This is where you stop following, you have to build this project. So our project is create a clean and simple profile summary app using the text, message and layout commands. And it should include a title at the top of the page. Look at this book, practice project, a sidebar, 2 columns, a status message, etc. You have to do all those things. You have to do all those things. So for this, what I'm going to do is, let me just open command B. Let me start with my project and start with starter. Don't start with your final, start with starter. Okay. And where is my mouse? Yes. So with import Streamlit ST, you all know that. I want you to first pause, first try on your own, then only come and see me do all this, right? I'm just setting my page configuration, profile summary app, ST title profile summary app. Let me save this, close, clear, Streamlit, run, chapter 02, project slash starter.py, profile summary app. The first thing is we need to get our sidebar inputs. Let's do this. What is the command? st dot sidebar. st dot sidebar dot text underscore input will say enter your name. So whatever we'll get, we also need to save this value. So I can create a variable called name. Name is equal to st.sidebar text underscore input. You could also have used context manager, but right now I'm going to use both. I'm going to use both so that you can actually compare. Now I'm going to say age is equal to st.sidebar dot. This time we have a number input. Enter your age. And I'm going to use min value because min value is equal to 18. We don't want anyone to enter, and max value is equal to, let's say, 30. We don't want anyone. We want all the people between 18 to 30 years for some reason. I don't know why. Then let's say profession. Let's get their profession also. Profession is equal to st.sidebar dot text input. Enter your profession. Give me 1 second. Okay, no. I was just checking my battery is not draining. Right. Enter your profession. Now let's create a layout. For layout, I'll create 2 columns. Call 1, call 2 is equal to st dot columns. st dot columns, sorry. How many columns we need? 2 columns. Let's say sidebar, enter your name, enter your age. Let's say my age is 6. Value must be greater than or equal to 18. Perfect. Refresh it. Enter your profession. This time I'm going to use with context manager, right? I'm going to use with context manager. So for this, with call 1, st dot header, basic information. We get some space, and st dot right. I can use formatted strings for name, and name if name else not provided, right? Name not provided. That's the name Ankit. Name is Ankit. Okay. Let me say name. Sorry. I want this colon. Okay. Name Ankit. Name not provided. And you can do this for similarly age and profession. Age and profession. Let's do this. Name Ankit, age 18, profession or let's say 25. Awesome. As soon as I change the number there, the number has been reflected here. Beautiful. Now let's do status message based on age. So what we'll do is with call to and st.header. About you. Basic information about you, and this is an additional I'm just copying pasting because I've already done this to save your time. This is where additional details or skills could be shown. Skill 1, skill 2, skill 3. Let's say how it looks. Okay, perfect, simple. Now let's code. Let's do one thing with call to. Let's say status message. I think let me move here. Status message based on age. So we can say if age is less than let's say 20, st.warning. st.warning. You should be in college. Okay. You should be in college, right? Otherwise, it's a warning, it's an orange. Otherwise, else, will they st.success. You should be working. You should be in college. You should be working, right? Look at the experience, user experience. It's like a proper React app, right? Okay. What else? And then let's do expander with xt.expander. Additional nodes. st.write. Your hobbies, goals, etc. Right? Simple profile summary app. Additional notes. Enter your name, Ankit. I should be working. I am a teacher. Okay, professional teacher. You should be working. So on. So this is like a simple project. I hope you were also able to do it. And now I want you to go to your book, and there are some troubleshooting also. If you face some problems, these are some troubleshooting issues, common issues and quick fixes. You can look at them. Otherwise, just jump to your exercises and start doing those exercises. And repeating again, don't look at the solutions first. First, try to do these exercises on your own. And once you get stuck, you can look at the solutions. I hope you have enjoyed this lesson, and we're going to keep on practicing. I'll meet you soon.